wanted to extend on behalf of Chuck and Renee, and I'm sure you'd accept me saying this, a huge thank you for all of you coming here tonight, braving what might have been a thunderstorm, but looks wonderful weather so far. Hopefully I didn't jinx it. And for coming out here again to celebrate Chuck and Renee this evening. So my name is Theresa. According to Facebook, Renee and I have been friends for 10 years. We all know Facebook knows all. I am her favorite sister, and she didn't have much choice in that matter. I'm her only one. So Renee and I actually go way back, way back to 1986. That was the year of the heartthrob Tom Cruise in Top Gun. It was also when Oprah Winfrey started her reign on TV. There might have been some other radioactive incident that happened, but that's another day. That was the year Renee and me first met, making her no longer an only child and the star of the show. Not long after, she also had a younger brother to contend with, who particularly liked reenacting WWF moves on his siblings. Despite not being the center of our parents' attention anymore, Renee has always been caring of her siblings. Growing up, she was like a pseudo-mother, our unofficial babysitter, a WWF referee, mainly from me and Michael, our driver when she got her license, and paved the way of challenging, annoying, and rebelling against our parents, making it a little easier for Mike and I. Now, as we've grown into adults with our separate lives, Renee has become our biggest supporter, our cheerleader, excuse me, advisor on all things, lifts us up when down. She's the person I go to for anything, and the best friend I know. It only makes sense that she met an equally endearing and amazing gentleman, Chuck. I remember when Renee first was telling me at a mall that she went on a date with a guy that she really liked and was asking me, hey, do you think I should go on another? I was like, yes. Luckily, she did go on another date, and the rest is history. After only 3 to 4 months of dating, Renee and Chuck took the first true test of their relationship. They traveled together to Cancun for vacation. Renee tells me that on that flight down, Chuck made a comment, since they hadn't been dating that long, that it was okay if Renee needed some time to herself, or that maybe he would need time to himself. Lo and behold, they spent every day together and have since. It seems like only yesterday that Renee moved out of her apartment into Chuck's. Seems like this morning that they bought a house together. And only, I don't have my watch, but a couple hours ago, since they became man and wife. Since they've been together, I've seen Renee grow more confident, showcase grace and compassion. She likes to laugh in general, but I think she laughs a lot more now with you, Chuck, and become much more knowledgeable about Star Wars. I couldn't be happier for my sister. And Chuck, you look so handsome this evening. I'm so thrilled to have you as my new brother. You're a phenomenal cook, a fellow vino, and a body combat enthusiast. It's a #1 in my book. You love to try new things and are passionate about life, and most importantly, my sister. You will be a wonderful husband to her. You have both decided life's journey was better together, sharing in every moment, hardship, and new experience. I ask everyone to raise a glass to cheers the joining of these two wonderful people, and may you both have the greatest and happiest the world has to offer. So cheers. I know I don't have a glass. Cheers.
Little wardrobe malfunction there. I promise it's the last one. First, I'd love to thank everybody for coming down here to Mexico to Chuck's wedding. It's been a treacherous weekend. I think the pool dipped below 70 degrees at one point. They forgot to put ice in one of my drinks at one point. It's been very dangerous. Being 6 years younger than my brother, I really admired him. I looked up to him, and he taught me a lot of important life lessons. And one of them is he really worked hard to make me a tougher person. And this involved, we would reenact some of our favorite movie scenes and play as kids. And if we were doing Rocky 3, he'd be Clubber Lang and I'd be Rocky. Empire Strikes Back, I would be Luke, he'd be Vader. Basically, the theme is I always end up on my ass at the end of these. And I was trying to find a way to kind of, one up him, and arguing is kind of a family pastime, and we do that all the time. We still do that. But I tried to find an edge, and we've had some pretty amazing arguments over the years. At one point, we were arguing about what constitutes a right-hand turn. Does the street name change? If there's a light, does that count? Is it the angle of the turn? At the end of this argument, it was about 15 minutes long. At the end of it, I really thought this was more of like an existential life question of, who are we all? Where do we belong in the universe? It's kind of on that level. It's tough to beat Chuck in an argument. As I grew up, I found out from his friends the secret weapon to defeating Chuck, which is the mush. So basically, what the mush is it's sort of like a partial jinx sort of thing where you could either go for good, it can go for bad, and he's had a lot of fantasy football players he's drafted over the years, and pretty much as soon as he says that they're the greatest player, they're done. Like they may as well. Their career is over. I'm pretty sure he's responsible for Schilling's bloody sock, Brady and Gronk's knee injuries, and most recently, I think Gordon Hayward must have. It's unconfirmed, but I think Chuck may have had something to do with it. But it works. It works for good too. We went with a bunch of his friends to Patriots game against the Rams back in 2001, and after the game, I said, Chuck, we were like one Antoine Smith fumble away from winning that game, and he said, "What's wrong with you? We don't even belong on the same field with the Rams." And as you know, we went on and we won the Super Bowl against the Rams, the most improbable comeback ever. And sorry, Ron, I know you're a Rams fan. You already gave your permission. But that was a little bit of Belichick and Brady, mostly Chuck. And the 2004 ALCS, Red Sox Yankees. It was the fourth game, extra innings. Chuck comes home. I'm watching the game. I said, we tied it up. We're in extra innings. The game's still going. He said, "This is done. It's over." And I don't think the Yankees have recovered yet from that mush. So today, Chuck has not mushed his relationship with Renee. The mush has been non-existent, which is fantastic. And I first heard about this wonderful woman sitting next to Chuck from my Uncle Dave. He was out at dinner, and he had walked over and he saw Chuck with Renee, and he bought them a drink and had a conversation. And I found out about it from Dave afterwards, and he said, yeah, Chuck was on his third date with this girl. She's amazing. She seems so wonderful, and they're happy together. And I said, wait, third date? And I said, well, Chuck usually screens women before going on a first date. And I said, we haven't heard about this Renee. And so then it took a while. I don't know why he didn't want to introduce her to us. I still can't figure it. It took a while, and then eventually we got to meet her. And there were some ground rules. We had to, play nice and not offend her, and then eventually not offend her family. And, we tried. I'm not sure how we're doing, but we're working on it. But it was, I know when I first realized that, I really liked Renee. And it was, we were hanging out with the two of them, and Chuck was talking about something. It might have been about how he was sort of talking about, I think it was Vader, and how he never really turned good. He was just always evil or something. And I said, I don't know if I agree with that. And I was gearing up for an argument. I had Google open. I was going to search for some Lucas, quotes and things and try and, combat. And he said, Tom, why do you think that? And I was sort of taken back. I was waiting for to get into it, right? And then I just realized that Renee has this sort of calming effect on him. She mellows him out, and it's like he completed his Jedi training under Renee. So, it's really proved out over time. They make each other happy. They do all kinds of things together, and they even work together at home. Every day, which that's, if anything, says that that's a good relationship. That does. So fast forward, 2017, a couple years ago, Chuck chooses Mexico as his wedding destination. What could go wrong, right? Who knew that Mexico would face an onslaught from a new president, that there would be all kinds of news, darken our doorsteps with all these every day, every week, something new, to make us worry about coming down to Mexico. And it even rained the other day. I think if my mom were here today, she would say, Chuck, I can't believe you made me come to Mexico for this wedding. It was cold on the plane. Do you know there are criminals down here? The news says there are drug lords riding jet skis with machine guns, and they're shooting tourists with target practice. But your wedding is beautiful, and Renee, your dress is wonderful. I have one just like it at home. But she may not have said, Chuck and Renee, I love you both, and congratulations on the special day. But she would have meant it in a very roundabout kind of way. Which brings me to Chuck's real superpower. It's not the mush. It's Chuck's love of his family and his friends. He really cares for everyone that he knows, everybody that's here today especially. And since my mom passed, he's invited my dad and me over for dinner every Sunday, which if you've met the two of us, that's a big commitment. And Annika comes over as well. He's been such a wonderful godfather to her, and she looks forward to spending girl time with Renee every time that she goes over there. And he's really brought the family together and created a new tradition for all of us. And that's really his superpower, to bring people together for drinks, for fun. And he brought all of us here together today. Chuck and Renee really both share this superpower. So even though Chuck mushed the entire country of Mexico, he didn't mush this relationship. All along, I was sort of sitting on the sidelines. It was like an episode of the old game show, Press Your Luck. And instead of saying no whammies, I was like, no mush, no mush. And it never happened. Even there were some dicey times. On their second Valentine's Day, Chuck took Renee out for a romantic night. They went to see the opening of Deadpool. No mush, no mush. How could it not go? It's the opening night, right? But I know that Chuck truly loves Renee, and I mean without a doubt, because he's here tonight, and he could have been at the Avengers: Infinity War, but he's here. So, congratulations, Chuck, and to my new sister, Renee. May your superpowers shine on forever. Now, if everyone could please raise their glasses and say with me, no mush. No mush.
Hello, I just want to take a minute to thank everybody for coming. All I've got to say, both these individuals have some great friends. My daughter has friends here from high school and from college, and Chuck's got friends from all over this country, everywhere he's been, people here from California, Texas, and there's a few people here even from New England. I wasn't sure we wanted to let Chuck into the family because I am from St. Louis. I am a big Rams fan, and my brother and I had the privilege of seeing the Rams beat the Tennessee Titans at the Super Bowl. The year after that, we thought we were in pretty good shape. We were heavy favorites, and the Patriots beat us. And Chuck, it was really iffy letting you in this family. Although Chuck and I may not share same sports allegiances, there are some things that we have in common. And one of those happened here this evening, because Chuck and I are both happy that our dancing for the evening is done. This is many years in the making. Renee's been a blessing to us, and a lot of times kids come get out of college and go back and move with their parents. And a lot of people don't really look forward to that. For us, that was just a tremendous blessing, because in our family we have had to deal with some pretty tough situations. And I was thankful that Renee was there to help us get through those rough times. I know that she wanted to move off on her own earlier than she did, but thank God she was there to get us through that. So you heard the words today, in sickness and health. Chuck, you got somebody very experienced in that area. I wish you all luck. Wish you the best. I thank everybody for coming and just have a good time. Enjoy the evening. Thank you.